Sanjeev Khirwar, the 1994 batch IAS officer, who was transferred to Ladakh after triggering a massive controversy by allegedly emptying an entire stadium in Delhi to walk his dog, is back in the national capital as the new MCD commissioner. The Union Home Ministry has announced his appointment, and the same was communicated to the office of the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. Now, Mr. Khirwar succeeds Ashwani Kumar, a 1992 batch IAS officer who has been transferred to Jammu and Kashmir. You must note, he has taken charge at a time when the civic body is preparing to present its budget before the Municipal Corporation House later this month and is tackling multiple administrative and financial challenges. By the way, the MCD Commissioner plays a key role in supervising the corporation's day-to-day functions, implementing policies as well, and maintaining coordination among various departments. Ishika joining us with the latest. Ishika, after being transferred to Ladakh after that massive controversy which allegedly involved emptying an entire stadium in Delhi to walk his dog, Mr. Sanjeev Khirwar is back in the top post?
Well, yes, Parmeshwar, as you very rightly mentioned, Sanjeev Khirwar, who was in fact involved in the controversy of walking his dog at the Thyagraj Stadium and emptying the entire stadium for that purposes. He was shunted out of Delhi in 2022, but now he's back in Delhi, and this time he's taking charge as the MCD Commissioner. Today itself, he will be taking charge as the MCD Commissioner, and as you rightly mentioned, looking back at his controversy, it remains to be seen how much of an impact this will have on his new role, because MCD Commissioner is basically the top bureaucrat of the largest civic body here in the national capital, and especially his appointment comes at a time when the budget is going to be presented, and there are various financial difficulties that at the moment MCD, the civic body here in Delhi, is in fact fighting out. So remains to be seen that how much of a role this entire controversy is now going to play in his new innings, because last time it was the athletes rather who had in fact protested against him, lodged a complaint against him. So remains to be seen how it goes down with the people of Delhi as
Indeed.
well. Over to you.
Ishika, do stay on with us. We've got Abhishek Dutt joining us on behalf of the Congress Party. Mr. Dutt, glad to have you on NDTV. Does your party, the Congress, see this appointment of Sanjeev Khirwar returning to Delhi after a controversial transfer as a simple bureaucratic decision, or is the Congress seeing this as a larger political message coming in from the centre?
See, first of all, Mr. Sanjeev is taking charge of the Municipal Corporation, which at the moment is facing a lot of issues. And I always say Municipal Corporation is a primary level of interaction of a Delhiite to the system. And they look after all the primary healthcare, sanitation, segregation of waste, horticulture, dogs, every issue. And it's a very sensitive department. I hope he will be more honest towards the people. At the same time, the corruption, which is Municipal Corporation, is a symbol of corruption, he can handle that. And he will not take insensitive decisions that he's taken in the past. Well, all the appointments are under the Home Minister, under the Prime Minister, and when Municipal Corporation straight away reports to the Honorable LG, who reports to the Home Minister. So it has been done under the approval of the Home Minister and the LG. And I'm sure they know about his background. But it is a big challenge for him to handle air pollution, to handle this very sensitive dogs issue, which is being up. You've seen how people have been protesting. At the same time, he can't take insensitive decision, because being an IAS and being a Municipal Corporation Commissioner is a very big thing. So I hope he will not take decisions favoring his family and those who are near to him.
The MCD, as you have highlighted, has key challenges, whether it's sanitation, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's tackling the pollution crisis at hand. Mr. Dutt, given that Mr. Khirwar was previously transferred after a public controversy that was highlighted, do you think this appointment affects public trust in the civic body?
See, people in Delhi don't trust the Municipal Corporation. I've represented that for almost 10 years. And whenever the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi says that she's inherited Delhi in a bad condition, The main reason for that is BJP. For the last 24 years, Bharatiya Janata Party has been in command in the municipal corporation, and they have completely failed. Now it is on Mr. Sanjeev Khirwar how he handles it. That incident that happened in 2022 May, because of which he got transferred, was an issue where he had shown his power, that he's a very senior official who can afford to close door for Thyagraj Stadium for his own pet, and the athletes had to suffer. I'm grateful to those athletes who made noise over it. I hope in future he will not take insensitive decisions. At the same time, he will make sure that Delhiites don't suffer anymore. Sanitation is a very major issue in Delhi. Air pollution is a very massive issue in Delhi. Green cover is a very massive issue in Delhi. Primary healthcare is a very massive issue in Delhi. And yesterday there were a lot of videos about this Kiradi Vidhan Sabha, which we all have seen, where people have to walk through sewage and dirty water to enter their houses. So this is the story of Delhi everywhere. He has a big task in front of him, and I hope he can handle the pressure, and he will not show his supremacy over people's, what people expect out of him is good governance, not something that will benefit him.
Mr. Dutt, thank you so much for joining us on behalf of the Congress Party. Let's revert to Ishika, who's been tracking the latest details. Ishika, tell us, why was Mr. Sanjeev Khirwar chosen for this role at this particular moment?
Well, in fact, sources in the bureaucracy tell us, Parmeshwar, that it was a simple, bureaucratic decision that was taken. And, as Ashwini Kumar was transferred, Khirwar was brought in here. It had nothing to do with the controversy that had erupted. That time, the action had been taken. So this is what the sources in bureaucracy have told us, NDTV. But as you rightly mentioned, it remains to be seen how it goes down with the people of Delhi, because MCD is the biggest civic body here, which looks at all the primary works, be it sanitation, be it healthcare, and everything else. So, last time when there was a massive row over his dog walking controversy and how an entire stadium was shut just for him and his pet, and the athletes had to suffer. It is certainly, it remains to be seen how the people of Delhi will be looking now at his new role as the MCD commissioner. But certainly the political backlash over this is going to intensify. Over to you.
Meanwhile, Ishika, has the earlier stadium controversy formally closed, or does it still seem to shadow his return?
Well, Parmeshwar, as I told you that, in fact, the bureaucracy sources, they tell us that at the time when the entire row erupted, there were protests by the athletes. And in fact, at the time, the action was taken and he was shunted out of Delhi in 2022. So now, in fact, the bureaucracy sources tell us that, in fact, this is a bureaucratic decision. But it is ultimately the question of public trust and how much the people will be, in fact, believing in his new role as the MCD commissioner. Over to you.